We're in this low volume node here from 37.25 to 38.50. 37.50 sellers absorbed 74 on the ask and prices at 37.75 right now. 75 25 37.25 was a shelling point, so it looks like a reversal on a place to put a bid with a stop at 37, presumably up to 38.50 most likely. This wasn't a trade I was paying attention to. The order flow is normative. The auction is heating up at 38 even. There really wasn't a tremendous edge here, but it could have been a trade taken nonetheless. Just a standard mean reversion and profile structure trade off of the 74 absorbed at 37.50 and buyers counter rotating. Liquidity increases and on the inside prints from buyers and sellers, and we eventually hit 39, which is the HVN of the other side of the profile. We're just trading islands here. The entirety of 39.50 down to 37.25 is a low volume node. Now we have an auction here, and now we have an auction here at 39 even and 38.50. Big size traded, and then a liquidity event. First of all, 101 on the bid left out to dry, compared to 60 at 39, and then price hits 38.50. We're still in the auction here in this 3-tick HVN. These aren't trades I took, it's just missed opportunity I'm documenting. And then price shoots lower on an LE liquidity event from sellers, so I'm looking for value to hold or for price to reverse. 38.50, 38 even is where price sits now, and buyers appear to be being absorbed pretty heavily at 38 even. There's 208 on the bid. But what I'm more concerned about is the fact that price will not move lower after this LE liquidity event. So we're still in an LVN here, and now value is holding at 37.75. This is the most confusing trade because price didn't move lower, but it didn't move higher, and we were in a low volume node here. So that just leads me to conclude that inventory is emptying, and we are actually bullish. It's just that inventory is going to run out. I've already seen this. It was just a strange and slow trade, and might have shaken me out because of how long it took. But after the LE into the LVN, we revert back to 38.50, the value area low of the HVN, meaning the actual move was reversion after inventory was cleared. I'm just skipping forward here. Well, let me see if there's something. Slow market. 37.50, low volume node. auction down there. Dual buyers and sellers on both sides. 141 absorbed on the ask though, compared to 37 at 37.50, low volume node. And then the Q pulls up to 39.25 before flow thickens up again. I place a long here, 39.75. At a Schelling point, the HVN notch of 39.75 and the bid ask. And the bid ask having size on the prints, 169, 130, 113 at 40 even. This is a failed absorption pattern. Most likely buyers are going to kick in, and that's what they do. And then we have an LE from buyers who blow tape up, and that prompts me to get out because they puked and all of them got absorbed. So I partially missed a 3-tick exit, but there really wasn't much hope of me getting out on 3 ticks because of how fast it moved. But the bid was 39.75, Schelling point value area low. I'm looking for 39.75 again and 42. I'm short 41.75 on the tape drying up. I accidentally add at 42.25 instead of scratching, and then I get out for 2 ticks. So that's a process error. There's an okay, and 42.50, another big auction, and then 147, 42.50 on the bid left out to dry. I scratch for a 1-tick loss after price ticks up and value holds at 42.25. I was short at 42 even, timestamp 1907. But the trade remains intact. It's just an auction and heavy absorption. It's just a heavy auction. And then price rotates lower back into all the way down to 39.25 off of normative order flow driven by sellers and partially helped by buyers. 1 at 48, 39.75, 1 at 30. I bid 39.75 off of 63 absorbed on the ask, sellers. And I accidentally stack 2 contracts and get out for 1 for a 1-tick profit. And here's something I should take note of is this quick scalp. I put my take profit at VPOC. I should front run it by a tick and put it at 40.75 because VPOC is a Schelling point. 30 trades at VPOC, but the majority of the fills are at 40.75. The tape also thickens up there. There's a 79 and an 80, and the other 3 ticks of movement were normative order flow after the absorption and liquidity present from buyers. I split it into 2 because I didn't have a big enough sample size, I believe, and I thought, well, I might as well keep going. Another mean reversion short on inventory emptying at 42. I'm short 41.75. Inventory emptied at 42. Big auction, and then we saw down ticking down to back ticking to 41.50, indicating there was movement there. I would take profit at 40.75, and that hits, and then price, but the order flow is still normative, and we're crossing the distribution, which ends at 39.75. Eventually we hit 39.75, and then the queue thicken, not the queue, the bid ask thickens up inside prints on both sides. In fact, price goes lower, but there's a bit of absorption at 39.75, just a tiny bit. Order flow is a normative and one-sided for all the way out of 39.75 down to 39 before a big auction shows up. And then I tried to take a delayed reversion trade as I'm stalking it. And right when I'm about to scratch, I enter at 39 even, timestamp 347 on this big auction, expecting inventory to vacuum to the upside, and it vacuums to the downside instead. And right when I'm about to scratch, when I go, oh, this trade is taking longer than it should, the Q pulls. The reason I scratched is because the auction was one-sided at 39. There's a 223 and a 247 on the inside prints, and then 38.75, 137, and 122 trades on the bid ask. So what that means is the auction's shifting lower, and I was expecting a rotation to the upside. I'm not going to implement any rules, but some sort of strength, maybe sitting at 39.25 instead of 38.75, instead of 39, so there being two upticks of price action instead, might have worked well, but that's not what happened. I'm long here again at 39.25, single print, timestamp 4:35 second video, off of 37.75 up to 38.50. The drawing up of an auction on the inside prints, supply from buyers, and also that coinciding with the value area low of an HVN. The big auction at 38.50 to 39, indicating there's an absence of inventory there, and then a mean reversion trade up at 39.50 because there's still heavy participation up there, and buyers are being rewarded. I don't see anything, strange about that. I don't see anything strange. It's kind of a weak trade, but it's at a shelling point, and I'm just expecting it to go up on buyers. If I see price is 39.25, if I see something at like buyers being absorbed at 40, then I'll get out. Right now it looks all right, a bit sell heavy, and then I scratch for break even at 39.25 after buy tape dries up at 40, which was already there, but then we saw a counter rotation from sellers down to 39 even, and I get out. And then an LE happens, liquidity event, LE, so buyers just slam the tape, and ticks rip up, and price rips up 6 ticks, and then we move in the opposite direction against that. So that's a trade I could have taken, and it's a trade I missed. We move 6 ticks lower against it. There's absorption of sellers at 38.50 after that. So there was, six ticks of good price action there from sellers getting out, from buyers getting out. and that's the rest of the tape.